Hello students, I am Dr. Mariam Fatima, an assistant professor working in the Department of Home Science, Faculty of Agricultural Sciences, Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh. You have studied the food service institutions, processing methods, and food service facilities in previous modules. In this module, you will gain insights and understanding of food preparation. The lecture of this module includes Introduction to Food Preparation, Characteristics of Food 1, Characteristics of Food 2, Food Purchasing and Storage of Food. Let's begin with the introduction of food preparation. A food item goes through various stages of preparation before it is cooked. If we make an error in these steps, the final product will not meet expectations. Thus, food preparation is not only an art but also a science. In this lecture, you will learn to use various methods of pre-preparation and preparation of food and also learn about the changes that occur in the food during its preparation. The question arises, what's the need of cooking food? Can't it be eaten in raw form? Cooking contributes significantly to the safety, quality, and variety of food. It softens food, making it tender, easier to chew, and more digestible, which benefits individuals across all age groups. The application of heat during cooking destroys harmful microorganisms, ensuring that food is safe and sterile for consumption. At the same time, cooking enhances the sensory qualities of food by improving its flavor, aroma, and appearance, thereby making meals more appealing. In addition, the process increases nutrient availability, particularly in starchy food where heat releases starch from cereal grains and improves their digestibility. Beyond these benefits, cooking allows for creativity and variety in meal preparation, enabling individuals to enjoy diverse and nutritionally balanced diet. The activity by which food becomes ready to be cooked is called pre-preparation of food. Let us see what goes in making the dishes different and tasty from one another. We can achieve varied effects in the food by performing different activities on them. For example, a washed carrot or cucumber is tasty to eat, but a washed, peeled, and sliced carrot or cucumber sprinkled with salt lemon with taste even better. You can cook potatoes whole with their skin or on after peeling and cutting them into pieces. The activities like washing, peeling, slicing are some of the examples of pre-preparation of food. Pre-preparation is an essential stage in food processing as it prepares raw ingredients for food and ensures both quality and hygiene. Blanching is the most common technique where food is briefly placed in boiling water and then transferred to cold water. This process helps in loosening the skin. Blanching is a common technique where food is briefly placed in boiling water and then transferred to cold water. This process helps in loosening the skin of vegetables or fruits, making it easier to remove. Washing is a basic yet vital step as it cleans food items with water. Remove dirts, pesticides, and other impurities. Cutting involves using a knife to divide food into smaller pieces, which facilitates even cooking and enhances presentation of the food. Peeling refers to the removal of the outer skin of fruits and vegetables with the help of a knife or a peeler, improving both texture and edibility. Finally, mashing is the act of breaking down soft food into a smooth paste or pulp which makes them easier to consume and incorporate into various dishes. Grating breaks food into tiny pieces with a grater, while a shredder cuts food into fine strips in shredding. Grinding reduces food to a powder or paste by using a grinder often used for spices or grains. Steeping involves soaking food in liquid to soften it, extract nutrients, or add flavor. Sieving is a pre-preparation method used to separate finer particles from larger ones, ensuring uniform texture and consistency in food. Mixing involves combining different ingredients together, either to blend flavors or to form a uniform texture that is ready for further cooking and processing. Each food item requires different pre-preparation activities. It's totally depending on its end usage. For example, coriander leaves and potatoes undergo different activities for different end users. After undergoing the various pre-preparation activities, the food is ready to be cooked. Once the food has undergone pre-preparation, the process of subjecting it to the action of heat is termed as cooking. There are several methods of cooking, and can be classified as the methods of moist heat, the methods of dry heat, and the cooking with fats, microwave cooking, and solar cooking. The methods of moist heat cooking includes the methods like boiling, simmering, poaching, stewing, and steaming, while the methods of dry heat cooking includes grilling, roasting, baking, and puffing. We can cook with fats, which includes deep frying, shallow frying, sauteing, and dry frying. And the other methods are microwave cooking and solar cooking. Now you must know the special points of each of these methods because this will help you to decide which method to select for cooking a particular food or to get a specific result. Let's start with the process of boiling. Boiling is a cooking process where food is fully immersed in hot water, heating to its boiling point. The temperature is maintained until the food is thoroughly cooked. For example, a hard potato becomes soft when boiled for a sufficient time. Boiling is particularly effective for softening hard or tough foods. To preserve nutrients, it is advisable to boil food with its skin intact and to cover the food vessel to reduce nutrient loss caused by evaporation. However, excessive boiling should be avoided as it can cause the food to lose its structure and disintegrate. Now, simmering is a cooking technique where food is cooked in a water or liquid at a temperature just below boiling. Typically, it's between 85 degrees to 96 degrees. Unlike boiling, simmering produces gentle bubbles and a lower heat, which allows for slow and even cooking. For example, dishes like kadhai and kheer are prepared using this method, which requires less water due to the lower temperature. It is important not to bring the food to a full boil during simmering. Additionally, cooking should not be done uncovered to prevent the temperature from rising above the simmering range. This method preserves the texture and flavor of the food while avoiding the vigorous agitation caused by boiling. Now let's discuss the poaching. Poaching is a gentle cooking method in which food is cooked in a minimal amount of liquid heated just below the boiling point. This technique is particularly suited for delicate food like fish, eggs, fruits that do not require prolonged cooking. To enhance the process, a pinch of salt and a few drops of vinegar can be added to the cooking liquid, which helps in maintaining a smooth and a clean edge, especially while poaching eggs. Poaching uses low heat to preserve the texture and flavor of the food while ensuring it is cooked evenly and tenderly. Stewing is a gentle cooking method where food is simmered in a small amount of liquid in a covered pan, typically around 98 degrees. The steam generated within the covered pan helps cook and soften the food evenly. This technique is especially useful for cooking tender cuts of meat, vegetables, and fruits such as apples and peaches. It is important to avoid boiling the stew vigorously, as a stew that boils too much is considered as a spoiled stew. Stewing allows the flavor to blend well while achieving tender texture through slow cooking in moisture and steam. Now let's discuss the process of steaming. Steaming is a cooking method that uses the steam generated from boiling water to cook food without direct contact. The food is placed above the water, allowing the hot steam to gently cook it, preserving its texture, flavor, and nutrients. Steaming can be done through three primary methods, that is the direct method, indirect method, and pressure cooking. Direct method is the method where food is kept in a sieve or muslin cloth on the top of the pan containing hot boiling water. The steam generated from water in the pan cooks the food. Special steamers are also available. It is used for peas, idlis, fish, and soft vegetables. The indirect methods involve placing the food in a vessel immersed in boiling water, for example, like a double boiler, and pressure cooking where steam is cooked under pressure to reduce cooking time while retaining the flavor and nutrient of the food. This method is especially popular for cooking vegetables, fish, and dumplings, offering a healthy, fat-free alternative to other cooking techniques. Now we will discuss dry heat methods in detail. As we all are aware that the chapatis, bread, biscuits, etc. are an integral part of our daily diet. These food items and many more are cooked by hot air. Some of the techniques of cooking with hot air dry heat includes roasting. Roasting is a dry heat cooking method in which food comes in direct contact with a heat source such as a flame or radiant heat. During roasting, food is often coated periodically with fat and turned frequently to ensure even cooking. This method imparts a characteristic brown color and rich flavor to the food. Common examples of roasted food items include chapatis, various vegetables, mutton or chicken kebabs. Roasting helps develop a desirable texture and enhances the taste by creating a flavorful crust on the surface of the food. And roasting is of three types: spit roasting, oven roasting, or pan or pot roasting. So in spit roasting, food like kebab, corn, and root vegetables are rotated over direct heat for even cooking. In oven cooking, large pieces of meat or we can take whole birds such as chicken or turkey for cooking in hot air in an oven. In pan or pot roasting, root vegetables, peanuts, and similar foods are cooked in a pan over direct heat. Now let's discuss grilling or boiling. Grilling or boiling is a cooking method where food is placed on a metal grate either directly above or below a heat source. This method allows the heat to cook the food quickly while developing a browned, crisp surface. Electric grills and hot plates are commonly used appliances for grilling indoors. Popular foods prepared by grilling or boiling includes pizzas, cheese toast, chips, grilled tomatoes, capsicum, and sandwiches, and many more. These techniques impart a distinct texture and flavor, making the food appetizing and well cooked. Now, let's discuss the process of baking. Baking is a cooking method that combines dry heat with the steam generated during cooking, typically using an oven or tandoor. This process results in food that is crisp and brown on the outside while remaining soft and porous inside. Common foods prepared by baking includes cake, bread, biscuits, pudding and some vegetables, and some meat dishes are also made through the process of baking. The controlled heat and humidity in baking helps develop appealing texture and flavor, making it popular technique for a wide variety of dishes. Baking is a cooking method that combines dry heat with the steam generated during cooking, typically using an oven or tandoor. Toasting is a cooking process where bread slices are placed in a grill or toaster and browned on both sides. Modern automated toasters are designed to prevent burning by automatically shutting off once the toast reaches the desired level of crispness. Toasting enhances the flavor and texture of bread by creating a golden, crunchy exterior while keeping the inside soft. The simple and quick method is commonly used for making snacks like toasted bread, cheese toast, and sandwiches. Now we will discuss about those processes in which we cook with fat. As we all know that we all like to eat samosas, pakoras or parathas, they are very common, and the process of cooking employed in cooking item in them is the process of frying. Cooking the food by partial or fully immersing in a hot fat till brown is called frying. So there is deep frying, and deep frying is a cooking method where food is fully submerged in hot oil or fat, typically in a deep pan called a kadhai, or using a deep fryer equipped with a wire basket. The food is cooked until it turns golden brown and crispy. Common deep fried foods include samosas, fish, chips, cutlets, puris. They are the very common items. This method is efficient for bulk cooking. It saves times, effort, and fuel, and it helps retain more nutrients as compared to the other frying techniques. There are some other key points to remember while we do the process of frying. During the process of frying, that we have to fill the kadhai only up to 2/3 of its volume, reducing the flame immediately if the oil starts to smoke, and turning the food gently to prevent hot oil splashes. After frying, excessive oil should be drained thoroughly, over frying should be avoided, and repeated use of the same oil is not recommended for health reasons. Special ladders or special stainers are used to remove the food and drain excess fat once cooking is complete. So the method of cooking with the food includes the deep frying method, shallow frying method, sauteing and dry frying. We have discussed the deep frying method. Now we will be discussing the shallow frying method. In shallow frying, the food is cooked in a flat vessel like frying pan or tawa. The food is partially immersed or has only surface contact with oil or fat. Dosa, paratha, chila, omelette, and tikki, etc., are all shallow fried. Sauteing is a cooking technique that uses a minimal amount of fat to lightly coat the base of a hot pan. Food is cooked over medium heat and is frequently tossed or stirred to ensure the even cooking. The heat causes the food to cook quickly in its own steam, preserving its natural flavors and nutrients. Common foods sorted includes vegetables, mushrooms, and noodles. This method is considered healthy because it requires little fat and retains the nutritional value and texture of the ingredients. In dry frying, we employ the method that is used for the food that contain enough fat of their own. When dry heat is applied, the fat within the food melts and cooks the food without adding any extra oil or fat. Common examples include bacon, sausages, paneer tikka, and the items that are made from full cream. So, this method relies on the natural fat content of the food to provide the cooking medium, making it healthier compared to frying with added oils. And the key to use is to place the food on moderate heat so that the fat melts slowly, allowing the food to cook evenly and to develop its own flavor. Microwave cooking is very common these days for its convenience. So, microwave cooking is a modern method that uses high frequency electromagnetic waves called microwaves to heat food. These waves penetrate the food and cause water molecules within it to vibrate rapidly, generating heat through friction. This frictional heat cooks the food quickly and evenly. Microwave ovens are specially designed appliances that use this technology for cooking and reheating food efficiently. Unlike traditional cooking methods, microwave cooking does not brown the food but helps retain its original color and nutrients. It is widely used in fast food outlets and households for its speed and convenience. Now we will discuss about solar cooking. As we all know that solar cooking is the best eco-friendly method available for us. As the solar cooking is an eco-friendly method that uses the sun's energy as a natural fuel source. It is based on the principle that black surfaces absorb solar rays and convert them into heat, which then cooks the food placed inside the black or dark colored boxes. This method commonly heats food such as dal, boiled rice, vegetable, bread, and biscuits. Solar cooking offers a sustainable alternative by utilizing abundant, free solar energy while reducing dependence on conventional fuels and minimizing environmental pollution. So, there are particular loss of nutrients also while preparation of food. And to preserve nutrients while cooking vegetables, it is important to wash them before peeling and cutting, as this prevents the loss of water-soluble vitamins and minerals. We have to avoid peeling and cutting vegetables long before cooking to retain freshness and nutrients. Cutting vegetables into large pieces also helps conserve nutrients during cooking. It is best to cook vegetables in a minimal amount of water and use any leftover water in soup, dal or curries to avoid nutrient losses. Cook vegetables only when they are tender and avoid overcooking. Green leafy vegetables, which contains plenty of water, can be cooked without adding water. We can include some raw vegetables in daily salads. For example, some raw vegetables like cabbage, carrots. These things can help to preserve the vitamin intake. For better retention of vitamin C, cook vegetables covered for a short period. These practices help maintain the nutritional value, color, and flavor of vegetables while minimizing the nutrient losses. To avoid the loss of nutrients in food, it is best to cut them just before eating and consume them in their natural form. Fruits like apples and chikus should be washed and eaten with their skin to retain nutrients. For milk, repeated boiling and exposure to sunlight can decay essential nutrients, so it should be minimized. For cereals and pulses, avoid sieving atta as the bran or the choker contains valuable B complex vitamins. Repeated and prolonged washing of rice and dal should be avoided to prevent loss of these vitamins. Soak dal and rice before cooking and use the soaking water during cooking to retain water-soluble vitamins and minerals. Avoid using cooking soda as it may degrade nutrients. Cook cereals and pulses for the shortest possible time in minimal water. Pressure cooking assists in fast cooking and better nutrient preservation by steaming under pressure. These practices help maximize nutrient retention during food preparation and cooking. There are some external changes in the food on heating. When the food is exposed to heat during cooking, it undergoes visible and sensory changes known as external changes. One such change is color. For example, vegetables typically darken upon heating, and overcooking can turn green vegetables dark brown. So certain foods may also impart color to the cooking medium, such as carrots turning milk pink or red meat changing to brownish red hue. Another significant change is in flavor, which can often be detected by smell. For instance, cooking reduces the pungent smell of fish, while roasting spices releases distinctive aromas. Texture changes are noticeable when touching or tasting the food. Boiling softens cereals, pulses, and root vegetables. Meat becomes tender and eggs coagulate, transforming liquid to a soft solid. These changes are the result of chemical and physical reactions within the food caused by heat. When food is cooked, its internal composition also undergoes significant changes, especially in terms of nutrients. So, carbohydrate absorb water and swells under moist heat, but overcooking can cause them to burst, resulting in a pasty, sticky texture. Proteins coagulate and become tender with heat. However, prolonged cooking can cause them to shrivel and harden. Fats remain stable at optimal cooking temperatures, but extensive heat breaks them down into fatty acids and glycerol. Minerals are usually stable, but excessive use of cooking water and its disposal can lead to mineral losses. Vitamins, particularly water-soluble ones like vitamin C and B complex, are sensitive to heat and light. Vitamin C degrades easily, so raw consumption is preferable, while B complex vitamins are lost during washing, bleaching, and cooking. Water is discarded or soda bicarbonate is used. Understanding these changes helps in choosing cooking methods that best preserve the nutritional quality of food. The loss of nutrient during food preparation and cooking can be minimized by using both traditional and modern methods that help to preserve or even enhance the nutritional value of food. At home level, techniques like germination or sprouting, fermentation, and food supplementation, that is, combining food from different food groups, play an important role. Germination increases vitamin C and B complex content and makes pulses and grains easier to digest and cook. Fermentation, such as in dough and curd, boost B complex vitamins, vitamin C, and mineral availability, while also improving digestibility by breaking down proteins and carbohydrates. Supplementation involves combining various foods such as cereals with pulses or milk to enhance the overall nutritional value of the meal. At the manufacturing level, fortification and enrichment are important strategies. Fortification adds vital nutrients like vitamin A and D to vegetable oils and iodine to salt, helping prevent micronutrient deficiencies in the population. Enrichment restores vitamins and minerals lost during processing, improving the nutritional profile of processed food products. These methods ensure that food remains nutritious and beneficial to health despite processing and cooking. Thank you, students. This was all about the topic of food preparation. In the next lecture, you will learn about the various characteristics of food in detail. Thank you.